All right, welcome back, everyone, to Isyour6covered. Appreciate you showing up. We should have hopefully a couple people showing up on the panel here shortly to give you their insight as well as mine. So let's get started off by first saying that we are not bashing any company out there. I have been fortunate enough to have 4 Vudoos. I still have in my possession one 360. Originally, the first one I got was from a really good shooter, and I actually, you guys know about the blue tickets, so we sent that off on the road and did that a couple times. And then I traded Josh Thomas for a 750 Dillon press because I had another rifle coming. So let's just get that out of the way. So there's been a lot of good talk and a lot of different talk. They're basically saying, oh, there's been a couple comments about, oh, you just want to be able to talk bad about Vudoo. Honestly, in my opinion, I love the 360. Still my favorite, and I've said it from day one, is I love a 60-degree throw. Plain and simple, over the 90-degree all day long, every day. And I still have the 360 sitting over there, and hopefully we can get it figured out, and I'll be shooting that as well. But as you can see on previous videos, you can see it right there. I've built basically bag rider / barricade stops in order to confirm that I am not putting pressure on the magazine to exceed the rock of the mag and get some failure to basically chamber the round. And I've had quite a few issues. We'll get into it. But I want you guys to know that if you ordered a V22, a V360, they're great shooting, amazing rifles, first off. I have been very lucky with 3 of them, and the 360 is the one that is giving me a problem. A lot of people are running them very, very, very well, and they're not having any issues. One of the issues that I had was I did a lot of lot testing, and I know that I was a huge Center X shooter, Center X ammo, I should say. And it shot well. I didn't have hardly any issues at all. And I had gone and did some lot testing and switched over to some Ely match. Now, the Ely match out of the 360, I was getting better groups. That could be that maybe Ely right now is just putting out better ammo over the Lapua ammo. That answer I'm not 100% sure of, but with the lot testings that I did and a lot of stuff that you didn't see on screen, the Ely was outperforming the Lapua ammo. So what I did was, and I'm kind of just going back in case you guys you're new to the channel, I bought 3 cases of Ely match. The reason why I did that is because it shot super great out of the 360. When I was doing the lot testing, there was one lot, I don't remember the number, but I was having failure to fires, or also known as light primer strikes, and I didn't go with that lot. I had ordered the lot, 3 cases, it showed up, and I started getting issues. Now, to represent Vudoo, their chamber is made for Lapua ammo. It's stated on all their stuff, and I totally understand that. And so as far as the feeding issue, that is not, in my mind, it is not their problem. We tried grinding the ramps down on the feed ramp. It's not really a feed ramp. It's my brain's not working. Basically on the mags and the follower, I should say. We changed the angle of that, and that's always helped throughout all the mags of all the different Vudoos that I shot. Having a little bit steeper angle has always helped to perform a little bit smoother actions with the 90s and the 360. I, again, started shooting the Ely match. I started getting light failure to fires, light primer strikes, so on and so forth. And I had changed the spring out. I had called Vudoo Gunworks, and the guys over there were super cool. Great great service personnel. He's like, yeah, I'll send you some followers, and I will send you a new spring. And it was no charge. So that was super nice of him. Great customer service. So no fault there. The only problem is I have, basically, what is it, 15,000 rounds of Ely match, because I'm a huge component of saying, once you find a lot of ammo that works well, buy as much as you can that you can afford, and go with it, so you don't have to worry about lot testing again in, I don't know, a month or 3 months or 6 months or however much you guys shoot. You do know that I shoot a ton of different competitions, but I also shoot a lot of 22 matches. I actually got a couple coming up. We got the Sweaty Yeti, and then we have Kettlefoot for regionals, and then hopefully to nationals in Texas, but we'll see. So I want to get that out of the air. I'm not bashing on Vudoo. I'm not bashing on Rimx. I'm not bashing on Bergara, Ruger, or CZ, any of them. And the reason why is, if you can find a rifle, no matter what color, make, model, whatever it is, and it shoots well, and it gets you to a match, whether you come in first place, maybe middle of the pack, last place, it really doesn't matter. You're out there enjoying the company of fellow shooters. You're getting out, hopefully in the sun, not the snow, and having an enjoyable day. So, born to be a shooter, Josh. What's going on? Shaggy Rifleman. We got Willard out there, DW. We got Myth Customs. Just got a Bergara B14 because it was on sale. $650. Very nice. Shaggy Rifleman's out there. Otter's out there from Iceland. If you guys don't know, if you're from some crazy country, not meaning that Otter's crazy, but if you're not from the States, or maybe even if you're in the States and you're new to the channel, tell us where you're at. We got Tree Feller. He's from Australia. So you guys, we've been doing these chats for quite a few years now, and it's kind of neat. The community is all over the world now. We had some people from Japan and all over the place. So let's see. Abigail's out there. Stratos 27, conservative sniper hunter. John Kreiderman, average outdoorsman. Oh, I did forget the Tika T1. That as well. We're just going to talk 22s today. Hopefully I'm getting Kenny on here. And I want him to tell the story. Better to come out of the horse's mouth than my mouth. But if you guys don't know, he does build rifles. He builds really great rifles. But that one over there is one that he had built. That is a Zermatt with basically it's their Rimx. David Martin's out there. Welcome, welcome. We got Michael Mink. See if I can catch up here real quick. Yanaz out there. Mike 21 STI. Chris Estes. We got Josh, Pursuit of Accuracy out there. I feel like I should be on this debate panel. You can be on this debate panel. Let's see. Brian T. Brody Hetland. Tim Rink. Davey J. Andy Nelson. Joe Combs. Chris Beck. Joe M. So welcome to the show. We'll have some fun. Hopefully get him on here. Got Myth Custom out here. Mike Special at Tuners and AZ must have been on Tiffany. Let's see. Sean D. We got a Bergara. CS is shipping to my replacement bolt. FedEx. So good on them. Yeah, and that's a good thing too, guys. Just know that a lot of these companies are great when it comes to if you have an issue, you can call them. They'll be like, okay, we'll send you a part. When we started off, I had the Ruger, basically the rimfire version, the RPR, and I had an extractor issue, and they actually sent me out a couple. And I told them, I go, man, I got a match coming up next week, and they got it in the mail really quick. So Ruger's been great. Vudoo's been great. Haven't had any issues yet with the Rimx. It's very new, so I might have issues. I might be saying that it's not working great or whatever the case is when it doesn't. You guys know, if it doesn't work, I'm going to tell you. If it's a piece of crap, it's a piece of crap. If it's great, I'm going to tell you it's great. If I haven't tested it long enough, I'm just going to tell you I don't know yet. I haven't shot it enough or whatever the case is. John Kreiderman says only 5 thumbs up. So if you guys get a chance, hit the thumbs up button and we'll see what happens. Let me see if old Sicko is up for the task here. Pursuit of accuracy. It's not going to be in there like that. There it is. All right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Kenny on here. I just talked to him about 10 minutes ago. So we'll start off with the issue with the Rimx. Yep, you heard it, a Rimx, right? So there's been extractor problems, right? They had changed the extractor, so depending on when you bought the rifle, or maybe you bought the rifle, but whoever built it for you purchased that action, a while ago before they changed the extractors. Know that if you're having issues, you can actually call Zermatt and have them send you a new extractor. You're going to be able to tell by the color of it. The old ones was like kind of a bronzy color, where the new ones are more basically like a stainless steel look, like a polished look. So when basically this is an action, and people will buy basically barrels that have already been spun up for them. They will add them, basically screw them on, and then wish for the best or hope for the best. A lot of times companies will do just that. They will buy a pre-fit barrel. They have an action. They put it together. They sell it to somebody, and off it goes. Then that person starts shooting it, and they're like, this thing's a pile of crap. It's not working well. It doesn't feed. It doesn't do this. It doesn't extract, whatever the case is. And a lot of times it's just that it wasn't put together right, or the tolerances are not correct, or the person that made the pre-fit barrel X, we'll just call it, basically did their take on it, and they think it's good. And then when it gets sent and put together within the action, I see you, Josh. I'll bring you in a second. No, it's not lining up right. The tolerances are wrong, and then you're having issues. So Kenny he's on his 7th Rimx fix, and these are people that went out and bought a Rimx from some other place, had issues with it. They're like, this thing sucks. And Kenny's like, well, bring it, send it to me and I'll take a look at it. Now, this barrel was basically a blank, and a blank is basically, it's not a pre-fit barrel. This is all the threads need to be cut. It needs to be cut to the length that the person wants it to, and then it needs to be basically cut to that length, chambered on the other side, and then a crown put on the other end. So let me add Josh here for a second. But if they're not doing this correctly, or maybe it went in well, but maybe they screwed up on the crown and you're getting like horrible accuracy, right? And it's a well-named, a good company that makes barrels, and you're like, this thing's a POS. It could be the crown. It could be, I guess Josh's. I'll just do this.
Audio issues, as always.
Can you hear me? But anyways, the it can basically make. All right, you got some stuff going on, Josh. I want to put you on mute. It can make it where it gives a bad name to a company, right? And 90% of that was probably just the fact that the person that built it, put it together, maybe didn't know what they were doing, or maybe the person that pre-fit the barrel didn't do so hot at it. So let's see if I can get Josh to come back in here. Your speakers are still playing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. For some reason, you're just not coming through the headset. No worries.
All right. When I talk about it, let me see if I can turn this down. See if this helps. I don't know. Talk for a second.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you have a speaker going, or is it coming through your headset?
No, I was trying to get it going through my headset. Let
Try
me
to
see
get
if
it
it'll
going through your
reconnect.
headset. I'll give you a couple minutes to try to figure it out. So let's see here. Okay, so Willard's a good example. So Willard picked up a 360 Vudoo Gunworks, and he put it in an XLR chassis. And luckily, he had bought it at the right time because they had just started to actually. Come on, now I can't unmute you. Shit, I'm gonna remove you. Jump back in. The adjustable mag. So the adjustable magwell was a huge fix. So that was one of the reasons you saw a lot of people running like a MPA chassis, because they do have an adjustable magwell, and that seemed to fix quite a bit of people's issues with the mags. Yeah, conservative sniper saying echo. Let's try again. All right. Be right back. Friend is here. What's up, Abigail? We got Vanessa Kitty out there as well. Nobody wants a tax stamp. That's right, Abigail. Let's see. So at the end of the day, you can have issues with every different rifle, and you just got to be, hopefully it's basically like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rifle that they built, and it runs perfectly smooth. So there's a great, if you go on Facebook, there's a really good, it's called Rimfire Tactical. Actually had a chance to shoot a class with the gentleman that runs this, and there's some really good comments in there. I had put a picture of the Rimx up, and I had it balanced on an iced tea jug, and no, I had it balanced on a chair actually at first with no scope, no nothing on it, and it kind of like started this whole Vudoo Rimx back and forth kind of thing, and I can tell you that every one of those people have issues with. You know, there's a guy that had a couple Rimx's and they were crap, and he bought a Vudoo, hasn't had any problems. And then exactly the opposite. You got guys that have had Vudoos and they weren't working well, and they went to a Rimx. You know, I will tell you that I think the CZ out of all of it, and Josh can probably, if he ever gets back on here, can tell you how amazing these mags are. I do not like how they're little small AK mags. They look like little toys. That's the one issue I had with them, but they feed like nobody's business compared to a lot of the other manufacturers. They just seem to work. You can throw them in there without having to like pay attention super close to how everything's being put inside of the magazine. I can tell you that the Rimx mags are completely amazing compared to some, but it's then there's some mags that I wish they'd work on and fix, and maybe put an adjustable magazine like the Rimx does. So if you don't have a chassis that has an adjustable magwell, you will still be able to fix basically a 700 footprint chassis and make it work for whatever kind of action you want to put into it. Let's catch up here. A few spare hours. Header, gotta love auto steer and GPS. Riding the waves out there. It has been a while, buddy. It has definitely been a while. Let's see here. Joining Rick, the king of late night chats. Have to name my future ex-wife technology then. Yeah, let me know too. I want to know. Also, what matters is how you take care of the rifle. Yeah, if you guys are not cleaning these things, that chamber is getting tighter and tighter. You're getting a carbon ring. You're getting all sorts of stuff that's going to, at the end of the day, at the end of the match, well, probably in the middle of the match to the beginning of the match, probably going to screw you up. So definitely taking care of your gear is important. You know, especially if you're driving hours, you got a hotel room and all this stuff. If you're not shooting with basically a clean barrel that's just been fouled or conditioned, depending on how you want to say it, you're kind of making things a little bit worse. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't clean their rifle until they start seeing it degrade, but there's a lot of good shooters out there, a lot of top pros, and they're like, why would you wait for it to degrade? So you get to a match and it starts to degrade right before you, at your first stage. Like, that makes no sense. Be consistent. So keep it clean and then foul it. Tell me you don't like Vudoo mags without saying you don't like Vudoo mags. What I don't like is a gun that does not work. Whether you got a Rimx, whether you got a Vudoo, whatever you got, if it doesn't work reliably during a match, is a POS. I don't care who makes it. If you've done everything you can with followers, heavier firing springs, just everything, a built-in ugly ass 3-inch metal painted plate in front of your rifle so you will never have to worry about the mag touching. I was doing whatever it would take, and then I still could not get the issue fixed. Josh has my 90 degree. He says it's working really well. Well, first off, I wouldn't want to give a rifle to somebody that that doesn't work. And second off, the 90 seemed to work. The 3 that I had worked very well. And the 360 worked decently well until I started changing ammo to a different lot. So a lot of that is on me. And I've said it twice now on just this chat. I was getting better groups with the 360 with Ely match than I was the Lapua style ammo, which it was actually cut and chambered for. So some of that is on me. What's up, Kay? Let's see. Smoking Cash is out there. I did test not cleaning it. Really shitty. At 1,000 rounds, cleaned and right back to a great shooter. Yeah, so why not just clean it? Why not just clean it? Like this one has, that one has, that one has 550 rounds on it, but I'm not going to a match. I shot 350 the first day, and then the second day I shot like 250, 275, and it's down here now, and I got to clean it. So, browser blocking my headset. There will be echo otherwise. Bummer deal. So what is Vudoo telling you? I only reached out to Vudoo the one time when I told him I had switched to Ely, and he said, I told him I was having some failure to fires, and he said that he would send out a spring, and we talked about the followers, and these guys were great. They're like, yeah, he said, how many mags do you have? I said, I think I have 5 or 6, and he sent me 5 followers and a spring at no charge. Just, here you go. Hopefully it works. And the only other option I have is I actually want to get this Vudoo rebarreled, and I basically want a truck axle on it because I'm really about the balance. I really want the balance. So I started off with the 18-inch Kukri. It was a Gen 1 V22. Thing shot amazing. Shot well, fed well, all that good stuff. But I'm like, there's a newer one out there. I want the newer one, do reviews on and that kind of stuff for you guys and myself. And got that one. That one worked well. But I ordered it in an MTU 20-inch barrel because I wanted more weight on the barrel. I wanted it to balance. And unfortunately, there's just not enough meat on the barrel to get it to really balance. So in order to make a balanced rifle with a MTU contour, and depending on what chassis you're running, you're probably going to need quite a bit of weight up front. I know I know Willard, he has it on an XLR chassis, and his rifle's like 23 pounds to get that thing to balance. 23, 24 pounds. And that's a heavy rifle. Mine comes in, this one comes in, I just weighed it. It was 16.7 pounds. So it's nice and light, easy to maneuver, but weighs enough. I mean, you can always make it heavier, but it's balanced, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have to put a bazillion pounds of weight on the front of it, so that seemed to work out pretty well. And LZ says, have you found any problems or faults with your Rimx? Not yet, but if I do, I will definitely tell you about it. The thing is, and I was hoping Kenny was going to get on here, is I think if the person that builds the rifle, right, you got an action in the barrel, we talked about it a little bit, but if they put enough time into it, I would say if you're going to build a Rimx, don't buy a pre-fit barrel. Have a professional actually cut the threads correctly so that it fits where it needs to at the right tolerances, and you won't have any issues. And then depending on what you're trying to do, I didn't go with the bench rest chamber. I would rather have the ability to run different types of ammo than to have, a tighter chamber. These rifles shoot so well, both of them, that to give up even a tiny bit of accuracy, it's more important that the bullet feeds for me. And they both shoot great. I mean, this one shoots great. That one shoots great. I wouldn't say that one shoots better than the other, but this one, no. This one printed a really sick group the other day at 50 yards. But the Vudoo as well shot some really good groups. That was the reason why I bought that so much of that lot of ammo, because it kept everything at inside of an inch at 100, no problem. But there's a lot of rifles that have these truck axle barrels, like Chris Simmons has one that stacks basically bullet on bullet at 300, 400 yards. And I watched him do it. It's pretty crazy. But a lot of it has to do with the shooter. He's just a very good shooter, but he has a custom barrel that's cut for other types of ammo as well. I don't know what his reamer was that he used, and you know what, they would never tell you anyways, because the guy that builds his rifles has his own magic tricks. Just like Kenny has his own magic tricks when it comes to putting these rifles together. Let's see. So to answer your question, LZ USA, no, I haven't found any problems yet. Old school. Double talk. I was talking to a bench rest guru, and he said that Ely told him that they had an issue with a certain batch of Ely match in 2020. That the primer compound was too thick and didn't spin in the rim. Yeah, very well could be. And that's the reason why you guys got a lot test stuff. I think it's super important. You can have the exact same rifle. Hell, we had between Mini X, between Ray's rifle, Matt's rifle, my rifle, and some of the guys, the Kreiderman's rifle, Willard's rifle. You can take that one box of ammo, and it'll probably shoot decent in every one of them, but one of those rifles, it's going to shoot amazing. So you really got a lot test, because if you're trying to go from good to amazing groups, you're going to have to lot test for sure. And we kind of talked about this Ford Ranger. That's right. We got Tree Feller's got a Ford Ranger. He never heard of the Ford Ranger Instagram stuff. So Dick Hedges made sure that he sent him about 1,000 of those things the other day. So you got Ely match for sale? No, my Ely match is good. It's shooting great out of the Rimx. This thing actually, Kenny shot everything from super bulk cheap ammo to the Ely match that I actually sent him to test. I had him shoot some of the Center X that I was shooting in my my 90 degree, that wasn't shooting so hot in the 360 as far as groups, and it shot okay, but it some was better than others, but it fed well on all the stuff. We're talking like big bulk, like golden bucket basically. That guy should ditch his tool and fix his rifle. Dun, dun, dun. What's up, Eddie Flores? Let's see. When are you going live next? I don't get notifications. Oh, Pursuit of Accuracy. Rim properly. These are the ones that are causing the failures to fire. Yeah, there's issues, but any manufacturer is going to have issues at some point. Hopefully they don't make a bazillion rounds of it and then figure it out. How much are we shooting this week? Are you getting the week off? I'm already off. I'm not even going to show up tomorrow, Dick. We built a bunch of buckles today and belts. There's a few left to do, but X-Ring and Sam can do those. I don't think Sam's coming in tomorrow either, so Ray can finish them up. See, I think Chris Simmons only hits the target once, then ditches the other 9 rounds in the dirt. Drew Badley. No, I've watched him do it. What's up, Gagabytes? Let's see here. Sounds like you bought a bunch of ammo that the Vudoo did not like. No, the Vudoo liked it. It shot super well out of it. It fed well until I ordered the big batch of it. And I think that was from shooting so much of it. Because it has like a wax on it compared to an oil, and that does build up, and then it does you do get issues. And I would like to show you guys kind of this thing if I can find it. Nope, that ain't it. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me stop in the right spot. What it is it'll show you the wax buildup. So every time that bullet's going in, there's a little bit of wax coming off of it. And on a Rimx, instead of the bolt, basically the chamber being flat, it has an arch to it. And what it does is that enables the dirt and debris to kind of just fall to the sides of it. And I'll have to put it in a video because I know I have some video of it, but it'd be pretty interesting for you guys to see. Got an ETA on those belts yet? Davey J, I can tell you that those belts are probably going to be a while because we still have to build the buckles, and I don't even know when the buckles are going to show up. I know they had done a big batch, and they didn't pass tolerances, so they had to rebuild them all. That's just the beast, basically. You know, you got these machines running, and something is a hair off or whatever the case is. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I have not seen a bunch of buckles show up. And trust me, I'll know before anybody because I got to build the damn things. Let's see. Stop lying, Josh. I know better. Mm-hmm. So Davey J, no ETA on the belts. There was some for sale. I think we built like 43 of those things. I have no idea what part of the world they ended up in, but there's like 43 of those that are completed. In prepper news, I traded some 9mm hollow points for a Win-Dixie bag of tomatoes. Let's see. Americans will love the smaller Ford Rangers. I don't know if they have shipped over states yet. Ford Ranger. Let's see. Vudoo has fixed 3 of the 5. Here you go. Here's a good answer. So Vudoo has fixed 3 of the 5 down guns thus far Waiting on the last 2 to get fixed. No, so if you're having issues, definitely send them in. I've just been slacking because I'm waiting to figure out what I'm going to do with that thing. Oh, no, I didn't, Six Creator. Sorry, amigo. And I didn't go buy the damn thing. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. Johnny Wad, you guys see the new Ford Maverick that is supposed to replace the Ranger? It's got pretty good reviews. I have not. What's up, Ramsey Country? Hope you're doing well. 2 great lives tonight. Eric Cortina just ended his. Awesome. I'll have to check that out afterwards. Dan, Dick, you own 5. No, you guys, so you don't know, Dick's been a huge help with youth shooters. And I don't know what part of Florida it's in. Basically, it's down there, down in the south end. But it is, there's a lot of people helping to make this thing run smoothly down there. And Dick Hedges, kudos to you for getting that all started and spending all your free time making it happen, but it's pretty nice. All right, Six Creator, thanks. Have been told Mike has been extremely helpful to all. Yeah, for sure. And I think some of it might be the 360 over the other ones. Maybe just changing the model and changing it up a little bit. Maybe there's a couple little kinks in there that they're trying to fix. But it'll be nice if they get it figured out. Brake clean melts that wax carbon like butter in a microwave. Smoking cash. Good info. But bam. Make sure you oil it afterwards, though. Yeah, I was hoping. Let me send Kenny a. Let me get Kenny on here. I wanted him to tell the story of the ones he had a chance to fix. It'll make more sense. He can tell you all the ins and outs of what he's been seeing. All right, so CZ. We know that the CZs work well. Josh Thomas has one. He's got the Elijah barrel in it, and the thing is amazing. Shoots freaking amazing. Now he has my Vudoo. Well, it's not mine anymore. It's his. He has the Vudoo, the V22, and he may shoot that at the next match. I don't know if he's 100% sure yet, but he likes the weight of it over the CZ. So if you guys are maybe thinking about what you want, weight considerations, maybe something, or if you have a younger youth shooter, you might want to definitely go with the CZ. It might be a lot lighter. What's up, Cloud Kicker? But on the other hand, he likes the weight that he has it set up, and he says when it's on the bag, it sure sits nice. So I still like to go shoot one of Dick's matches with a bunch of us Carolina guys. Oh, that's going to happen. That's going to be in December. That is going to be in December, Willard. Let's see. You can clean a suppressor. You can clean a suppressor to metal in seconds with never wiping it. Just spray the mess away. Let's see. Next video will be CZ versus Vudoo as a comparison. Yeah, Pursuit of Accuracy, he's all like dialed in when it comes to his videos. Like he has them already done, and then they show up like a couple weeks later or whatever. He's all organized. Me, I'll do a video. It'll sit in my phone. I might put it together the same day, or like I still have 3-gun videos I still need to do that I haven't done. Money's on the CZ. I tell you what, the CZ is definitely a way to go. Definitely one of the ways to go. Mini 22 LR ammos being waxy. Ever tried to shake a few rounds in graphite powder and load them up in the mag? See if they'd cycle smoother other than being messy. That's probably a bad idea, Drew. That's just more crap I got to get out of the barrel later. You lazy bones, Mr. Treefeller says. You lazy bones. 2 of you need to sign up for the Kettlefoot shoot this weekend. I'm shooting Snipers Unknown, Willard. I'll be shooting a match with Dick Hedges in South Carolina at, I think it's called Government Training Institute, GTI. I'm not sure on the G. I would assume it is. You don't want graphite in your action. No bueno, Joe M says. Yeah, graphite just cakes. Yeah, it'll end up being a sticky mess because you'll have all the wax and then you'll have the graphite stuck to all the wax. And then you'll heat up the barrel and then it'll turn into liquid crap. And then it'll just be all nice and stuck in all the lands and grooves. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that. There's Eagle Eye. He's coming on board. He'll be able to give you the best story. And this is from a guy that has had to fix 7 of them. So not fix 7 Vudoos, but fix 7 Rimx's. So if you can get one that's correctly built correctly, you'll probably have a smooth machine. I lube my cases with graphite before I mandrel and seat, but I wipe it all off before I put the finished round away. Eagle Eye, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I just got the video off of them. Son's driving back.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so Kenny, with your great logo of nothing, since your camera's not on,
Sorry.
probably because your Wi-Fi is not there, but give everybody, we got quite a few watching right now. Give everybody some of the things that you have seen building these rifles. Hello.
Right. Slow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. StreamYard just, I don't know, I have full bars. It's kind of weird.
It's not working well, huh?
No, it's working now. I can hear you.
Okay. So if you can, tell us what you've been seeing with the 7 rifles that were sent to you to get fixed that weren't working well.
Okay. Well, yeah, so majority of the Rimx's that was sent to me, I'm not going to put the shop on blast, but there was like 4 of them came from one shop, and then a couple that were, I guess, assembled from pre-fit barrels. What I'm seeing with these Rimx's is, one, they're not putting the breech face of the barrel all the way up to the bolt face of the action, which is 100% needed for this action to run 100% flawless. So there's basically about a 2,000 to 3 thousandths gap. There's one that had an 8 thousandths gap. One basically just had a piss poor chamber where on the cone, on your breech face of your barrel, there's that cone, right? There's supposed to be a minimum of 350 thousandths, or basically just 20 thousandths over the rim of a 22. It being flat, there was one barrel that was made that had only 200 thousandths. So it was getting basically failure to ignite the 22 because it just didn't have enough flat surface for the firing pin to hit the rim of the cases. So, you know, that's the sad part, is like a lot of these manufacturers out here, you know, when you're spending $2,600, unfortunately, they're just assembling the rifle. They're not hand fitting anything. This action needs to be hand fitted. There's slight variation, say plus or minus 1 thousandths to 2 thousandths. The barrel has to be done correctly. If it's not done correctly, 1, you're not going to get the accuracy. 2, you're going to get you know, all kinds of issues with this thing. Yeah.
Okay, so the issues that these guys are having, guys or gals, whoever's sending these in, is this something that you can basically take the barrel off the action and recut it and rechamber it, or what is it, a start over kind of deal?
Well, it's most of these barrels can be taken off. The barrel tenon itself just needs to be extended a little further out. You know, there's blueprints that Zermatt puts out, and they have to match those, and they're short because they're doing everything by CNC. There's tolerances when you're done on a Doosan CNC machine. It's just they're banging these things out just for production. So yeah, I mean, it can be fixed. The majority of them can be fixed, but they're using the wrong chambers. One of them had a really tight chamber where it actually was just pulling the bullet out of the case on ejection. I don't know what the hell chamber that was, but it was definitely not. It's probably like a bench rest chamber, but it was not something set up for this rifle for PRS. I mean, for PRS for NRL 22. It won't work.
Yeah. So without giving away your secret, because I know yours is a custom. It's a custom reamer,
Yeah,
chamber.
it's a custom chamber. Yeah.
But it's similar to, what is it similar to?
It's very similar to the Winchester 52D, which, if you guys are familiar, the Winchester 52D came out for 22 long rifle, I think back in the 1930s or something like that. It's a very accurate rifle. That was the chamber that was made. There's like a list, like if you call Dave, like for just Dave Manson reamers themselves, there's like a list of 3 pages worth of reamers of 22 long rifle people's designed and has made their own. It's crazy. So you can really go through this a whole crap ton of reamers just to see which one works for you.
Well, and a lot of them are ammo specific, correct?
Yeah. Some of them favor certain lots, some of them favor certain manufacturers. The guys that I talk to out here are into 22 railgun, which is ultimate bench rest bullseye for 22 long rifle, 50, 100 yards. These are the guys that put out the lawn decorations of the little wind meters and all that stuff. They're shooting like sub 100,000ths of an inch. So talking to these guys, I've learned a lot of what they do and incorporated that with the rifles that I build.
Could Rick's Rimx be made even more accurate with the barrel tuner?
So there's a lot of questions on barrel tuners. Dude, honestly, I've seen it work. A lot of the guys out here run barrel tuners, but they do that specifically because they have a special lot that either they hand loaded themselves. I mean, these guys are swaging their own bullets. That's how insane they're doing. They're into this 22 stuff. The tuners do work, but it's not guaranteed because every lot changes. So you're going to be fighting, basically tuning that thing left and right, and you get another box, perhaps in the same lot, and it just doesn't work. So the benefit I would think of, instead of going with the barrel tuner, is just go with a really heavy, thick contour. Put as much meat as possible around that bore. That's why a straight contour 120 or 125 is beneficial. And then obviously the chambers that I've been recommended, or the one that I have, is also not as picky. I mean, I could have gave you a chamber, like a bench rest chamber, that will put out a sub, 1.15 inch group. But then
it's basically doing that already, anyways.
yeah, but we're talking about a chamber that will specifically like one lot of ammo, one type of ammo, and that's it.
See, and I think that's just the wrong way to go with a.
Yeah, I think for what we do, it's more realistic, especially in NRL 22. If you could get at least under, I'd say a 0.3 consistent 0.3 accuracy, then you're gonna do well on these NRL 22 matches. And the benefit of the chamber that you have is that you could pretty much throw whatever you want, and it's going to put out that kind of accuracy. So you're not having to really lot hunt. I mean, you could definitely lot hunt and get that ultimate accuracy, but just realistically, you don't really need to.
Yeah, I'm all about, seriously, I mean, I don't know if these guys are going to believe me, but like I told you, I said, I'm not even as interested in accuracy as I am in basically reliability.
Yeah, and that's a huge. What are you doing? Back up.
I mean, I don't want it to shoot like crap. Don't get me wrong, but I want to be able to miss the target. I said it on another video I think I put out yesterday. It's like, give me the chance to screw up, not the rifle. Like, Kenny, they want to know about twist rates. You guys will know more information on the whole 12 and the 16-inch when Dick gets his rifle in. We'll put some competition together and see what shoots the best. Will barrel contour lower or raise that speed?
Just to kind of.
What ultimately pushes you?
What a 9 twist do? What does a 9 twist do? So I ordered one just to play with. From what I've heard with a lot of folks out here, they are like, don't go anything faster than a 1 in 12.
And that's from the bench rest guys, right?
They know about twist rates. When you're
You're breaking up a little
deformation
bit.
of the cast
Where are you at in the middle of the
is,
desert right now?
what was that?
Are you in the middle of the desert right now?
I'm here in my shop.
Oh.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, there you are.
There you
Look
go.
at that. People want to see your face.
There you go. That's cool. There's my face.
So much better.
So-
I'm glad you put clothes on.
Yeah. So cast lead bullet. Here's an acne bullet. You want it to obturate with
Maybe you ought to cut the video because.
oh gosh. Hold on a
Try it
second.
again. Try it again. Tell little Chicken Hawk to get his ass off the internet.
So, yeah,
playing
you want
video
the-
games. There you go.
All right. You want the bullet to expand, obturate, and seal the bore of the chamber. And if you have too much pressure behind the bullet, or if you have a twister rate that's gouging the bullet or just skipping the lead bullet, you're going to have something called gas cutting. And for lead bullets, that's what kills accuracy. And also, there's something called permanent deformation. So you want this thing to flare out, seal the bore, and then when it exits the bore, go back to its original shape as best as possible, or as uniform as possible, shot for shot. That's how you get the accuracy of cast lead bullets. Now, what I know about twist rates is the faster you go, the less likely that's going to happen for a cast lead bullet. For a copper bullet, I think a 1 in 9 twist might work, like a cutting edge bullet. That might be the way to go for these ELR shots. But for typical 22 cast lead, I want to go anything 1 in 12. I don't know. Personally, I don't know yet. So I'm just giving from what I've heard, as well as theorizing it. But I'll find out in a bit.
Yeah. The Brody wants to know: can you turn a Douglas 1 in 14 twist into the same size / profile as Rick's?
Yeah, it's a Brody. I know who I'm talking to. That's what I have right here. I just got in the mail. I just got home. I
He just got back, guys, from.
Yeah. I got a bunch of 22 barrels that just came in. So yeah, it's the barrels that I order are a 120 contoured already from the manufacturer. I would like to go 125, but there's only a few chassis out there for NRL 22 that I would recommend that will fit that contour. But the MPA will only go up to a 120. So I just said, you know what, a 120 barrel would be perfect. So I've ordered a bunch of 120s, 1 in 14s, 1 in 16s. I ordered a 1 in 1 in 12. I put the order in. It was supposed to be Dick's barrel, but Dick ended up finding a loose Walther barrel. So I got 2 1 in 12s. I'll probably make the 1 in 12 mine, and because every time I build a Rimx rifle, it ends up getting sold. Yeah, so I need to build me one for myself. But I got a lot of 1 in 14s right now.
Florida Bearded Woodworker says, Rick, ammo is too expensive, so I bought a compound bow.
Yeah, here it is. This is what it looks like.
That one?
Douglas barrel. Yeah, this is the 1 in 12. So you can see 12 right on it.
Kenny, do you know the exact specs on this barrel as far as the exact length? I don't have a tape, but like if somebody wants just for the balance.
Okay, so that barrel is exactly 22 and a half inches long. From the breech face to the crown, it is exactly 22 and a half inches. And I think if we went any shorter, that thing would not be balanced at all.
No, and that's the thing is I didn't want to go any longer. I was telling Kenny, he's like, well, it needs to be right here in order to get a perfect, because I said, Kenny, I want this thing to be balanced more than anything, was like one of my top priorities.
Right.
And he got it down.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing's just sitting on that box right now.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
I can put it wherever. I can put it on a chair. I mean, I'd be too afraid to have it sitting on a chair the whole chat because I don't want it to fall and jack something up. But
Yeah, and that's the benefit of the Rimx. So, like I mentioned on your last chat yesterday, I think there's a handful of gunsmiths that will rebarrel a Vudoo to the contour you want, but they are extremely backed up. And if you contact them, they are probably not going to take in your Vudoo unless you know somebody. That said, this is the benefit of a Rimx. You can put whatever chamber you want, whatever barrel twist, whatever barrel you want, and contour. That is a huge benefit on top of the reliability, if done correctly.
What, if any, testing do you do for the barrel harmonics?
So I shoot every single one of these rifles that go out of my shop, including centerfire. One thing that was brought up to my attention was, and thank you guys, Rick and Ray from the X-Ring channel, is really focusing on cold bore shots. So I had one barrel that was from Douglas. That was a 1 in 14 twist that had a weird cold bore shift. But after the first or two firings, that thing just stacked. It was
an amazing shooter, except you
Yeah, you
cannot
saw it.
shoot that thing after like 10 minutes because your cold bore, and like
Yeah.
when you go from
So-
stage to stage, like you would
Yeah.
have a horrible, I think it was like 4/10.
Yeah, I was like 4/10 top left. And
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I told him, hey, dude, this thing, are you competing NRL 22? Because if you are, this is going to hurt you. But no, he's a bench rest shooter, or he just shoots for fun. So he's like, I don't care. I got siders anyway. So it worked out for him.
No, that would,
but
that would be a perfect bench.
Right, yeah, he ended up making, I think, a bench gun. He actually sent it out to Kilo and got a lot tested and everything. I wonder if he's actually on the chat right now. But regardless, every one of these rifles, what I do is I got a standard. I got a certain lots, or I'll buy ammo, whatever it is, and if it doesn't shoot a .3 or better in ideal conditions, that rifle does not leave. I do inspect the bore. I make sure that the bore, for one, when I push a tight jag on it, I don't feel any tight spots. Two, any kind of chatter marks or reamer marks or anything that will be considered poor machining. I inspect the bore before I even do any of the barrel turning themselves. So it's guaranteed to shoot out of my shop. I show groups, I proof it down range. So basically, if it doesn't work for you, then, well, maybe you just ain't good of a shooter. I don't know. So I'm not trying to be a dick, but I proof these things out. These things are shot down range time and time. I'll go through about 100 rounds to 200 rounds to make sure these things work.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny would send me pictures like, what do you think of this group? I'm like,
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And that was in the wind too. So, and I'm still learning the 22. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I am definitely still learning. I do have help quite a bit with the enormous amount of knowledge these guys have over 22 bench rests. So I was shooting in the wind, like 10 miles an hour wind, getting a .32, 33, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I want this thing to be better. He's like, you're shooting in the wind. I'm like, okay. I got a .3 at 100 yards. Is that good? He's like, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
learning from you guys as well.
The Midwest Long Range has a question about, what about cutting the chamber on a rimfire? What chamber are you using? Are you polishing the lands? If so, does it help?
No, it's the barrels that I use are already hand lapped, so none of that needs to be done. How I chamber these rifles, they go through a bore through flush system. So I use a special, I guess, my own concoction of reamer compound fluid that gets flushed through the bore as I ream this thing. My chamber is a custom chamber based off the 52D reamer. I really don't want to give the details on it because it's
No,
a very
that's very deal.
yeah,
That's your bread and butter.
yeah, it's a very special reamer. There's only two made. I can tell you that this reamer was in development when Vudoo was making their chamber, so I could say that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, you start off with a good barrel. So the ones that I've seen so far work really well are the Douglas barrels, Krieger barrels, and Bart lines. I am trying out a Excalibur barrel as well. I've had really good luck with their centerfire barrels. And there's Anthony Ward from Crown Ridge Barrels. That's all he does. He uses Crown Ridge, and those barrels shoot really good. So I'm just going to try out a 22 and keep going from there. Luth Wather would be the next one. That's Dick's rifle. So we'll see what that does.
I have one of those in an AR that shoots amazing.
Yeah. Well, Luth Wather is very known for their
accuracy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was reading Dick's message. Yeah, Luthwather's barrels are really known for 22. They've won a lot of world national records with the 22 on their barrels.
So for those people thinking this whole idea, so let's say I ordered, or say I'm somebody on listening right now and they're going, okay, I want to build a Rimx.
Okay.
So I order a Zermatt Action, and then I order a barrel, right?
Right.
Let's say, so pre-fit over basically a blank.
Well, see, and that's where it gets catchy, and I think a lot of the negativity that came out with the Rimx's to begin with was folks that were assembling these things weren't torquing down the actions downright and getting that breech face all the way up against the bolt face, and then calling the thing that, unreliable and inaccurate and all that stuff. And prefits themselves, when they first got the prefits, there was a couple blueprints that were changed. So guys were going off older prints or whatever and weren't building their barrels right.
Man, you got a haircut.
I did, yeah. So
Yeah.
my son's telling me a bunny ran in our house.
You never know what's going to happen out in the desert.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's the negativity about it, and from there it went downhill. Some folks were having issues with the extractor Zermatt, which I talked to Ray about it. I was like, look, dude, if you guys updated any parts, you should have notified the dealers that you sent these actions to have them update the extractor. It's the tensioner that was the key to making this thing reliable. The extractor that itself, it's the same profile. All they did was a material change on that primary extractor, but the tensioner had a stronger spring that was updated, and that's what me and Ray changed and found
to
out.
help assist it to grab better, right?
Yeah, the tensioner is that little hook on the side that springs back and forth. So they put a stronger spring in there. That's what I've noticed, and that thing made it 100% reliable from there. I would say to always get spare parts, and that's the cool thing about the Zermatts is that the spare parts, you can call them, they'll give you them, they'll send it to you, and at least have a couple spare parts. It's going to wear out just like anything that's mechanical. It'll wear out,
Yeah, like anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Vudoo. Like, you could probably elaborate on this. If you call them and say, hey, I got a worn out extractor, I mean, how long does it take to get one for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard any bad things on Vudoo with extractors.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. They got a dual extractor that that goes in like this, grabs a cartridge. Well, basically, it plunges over, grabs it, and holds it in place. And that's the difference. The Vudoo puts pressure up against the breech face, or if it's jamming the lands, and the extractors are there to grab after it's fired. Now, the difference the Rimx does is that it will actually fire that cartridge without it even being in the chamber. Which could be possibly a potential danger. But there's a lot of safety factors with the trigger and all that stuff. But the way that Rimx works is that it actually holds it up flush against the breech face of the bolt, and that primary extractor is there to hold around the rim. It has over 60% of surface area around that rim, and the tensioner is there for extra, basically like a secondary extractor.
Grip.
I don't know if I have one here to show you. Maybe not. So, but yeah, it's been a journey.
No, for sure. And that's a good thing too, because I'm like, we're talking Vudoo basically and Rimx. We talked a little bit about CZ and some of the other ones, but these forums on Facebook, they're like, it doesn't matter. You can have issues with this rifle because you had issues. You had like 7 people send you rifles to get redone, not because you built them, but somebody else built them and they didn't do it right. And there's issues with this style rifle. So it is. I mean, everything until they figure out what the magic fix is. And
right now, that's the thing. There's a lot of the shop that built majority of these rifles. Dude, the horror stories that I found, these guys were waiting over 1.5 years for this rifle to be pretty much assembled, not built, assembled, because they used a pre-fit. and they waited a year and a half, got a rifle that wasn't even tested, went to go shoot it and had all kinds of issues, and try to contact them to fix it, and they're pushing them back another 8 months just for them to have a repair. I think that's 100% unacceptable, especially for the amount of money you pay for.
Yeah.
So that's why they reached out to me. I don't know how. I mean, word must have got out or something. I appreciate it. I really do. It's just unfortunate. It makes certain name brands or certain people kind of have a bad name.
So if someone was looking for a barreled action, a Rimx, what's the price? What's the price of it cost?
It's $16.80, and I've had a lot of requests of, oh, if I bought this, if I bought that. Look, the reason why I don't accept parts and being drop shipped to me anymore is the simple fact that it's just, for one, I can't warranty the parts. If there's something wrong with that thing, it doesn't work, then I'm dead in the water. I have to go drive down and ship it out. Two,
yeah, don't send Kenny your guys' headaches, because
Two, what I have on the website is because what I know 100% works. So the barreled actions come with a trigger tech trigger. You could go with a single stage or you go with a 2-stage special. I use that trigger because I have yet to see that thing fail. So if you want to use another trigger, then that's totally up to you. You're going to have to basically disassemble the trigger that I put on there. So I think 1680 is what I have on the website. That's includes a mag, a barreled action, and you could choose the stock you want. Now, the stocks that I have listed on the website are what I've seen balance out really well, like the one you have, and two, 100% are reliable. So everything on the website I have on the rifle builder, that's because I put those together time after time, and it's 100% reliable. There's no questions asked that there's going to be a problem here later on. They're quality parts.
And you kind of have an idea, because like I'm basically running MPA wise the lightest chassis they got.
Right.
Because I wanted like the least amount of stuff in the rear, because obviously I wanted to balance. So being able to see this stuff on YouTube, or when they talk to you when you're ordering, like, hey, do you want a balanced rifle or do you really want that? Because if you run that stock like the BA comp, you're probably gonna have to run weight up front.
Right.
Probably like at least 4 sets of exterior weights, or maybe one or.
That's my main thing. Sitting down with the clientele and saying and getting a feel for what they're trying to accomplish. I want to build a rifle that will suit your needs and exceed your expectations. So that's the main thing. Is not just basically pay for one and then wait 6 months later or 4 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever. No, I'll give you a call. I'm going to give you a call as soon as if you do place an order, and we're going to sit down and talk and discuss basically to make sure this rifle fits you.
Yeah. See, now here's kind of a question that I would assume you hear as a builder, but it's almost like in order to make the thing work well, you need part A and part B.
Yeah. See, so this is what I'm saying. So honestly, I would love to, Eddie, to be able just to take in barrels and chamber. But the problem is if that barrel, and this happens with every barrel that I've played with, high end barrels, if the barrel has an issue, and I do all this work to it, then I'm stuck with a barrel that is my problem now. I have to figure out how to send it back to Schillen and have them exchange it. Well, you purchased it, so it's going to be under your name and everything. So this is why, as a manufacturer, it's ideal. Like if you want to buy from my vendors that I have these barrels from and have it shipped to me, that's 100% fine. Go ahead, do that. Like I said, it's all about the warranty. It's being able to get these parts back to them if needed to get a replacement. Because if you guys just get a barrel out of nowhere, I don't know the condition, I don't know where it's been, don't know if it's damaged or whatnot. I'm taking a risk on that, and then eventually what ends up being a lose-lose situation is you possibly get a rifle that just doesn't work, doesn't shoot, and then you're waiting extra long, extra longer time just to get that thing to work.
Brian T, you don't want a single feed of Rimx.
Yeah, the Rimx is a control round feed. You don't want to do that. It will shear off the extractor. So Rimx is not meant to single feed; it's control round fed. So always go off a magazine.
And you want to try not to dry fire them as well. They
Right.
are set up different. Vudoo states that you can do dry fire practice with it, which is awesome.
I'll see if I can get Ray to put a notification out where I could put it out publicly. But from the discussion, the Rimx can be dry fired. It is highly advised not to be dry fired, and this is the reason why. It's because that bolt face is up against the breech face of that barrel. So the firing pin is pretty much stationary, but there is a very slight slop to it. So that it is kind of free floating firing pin. It could ping the barrel, but the biggest issue is if you don't clean that barrel, you have carbon buildup, or you have wax, or you have debris, for instance, brass or whatever, and you keep dry firing it, it's pushing that material into the breech face of that barrel. What will end up happening is pinging that breech face, and if I guess we're talking about excessive damage, it will put a pit mark inside where that firing pin should be hitting, and the rim of that 22 is not a flat surface anymore. Now you're having a big open ditch, and that firing pin is trying to hit it, and you may have a failure to fire. So that's the reason why it's advised not to dry fire. Will it happen? Yes, obviously you're going to dry fire the thing, but as long as you keep that breech face clean, the action clean, then you'll be fine.
Yeah. No, definitely good stuff. Joe M says, can you work with us if we have a cert for a barrel or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Have them. Obviously, you could honor the cert and just have them drop ship it to me. The main thing is the warranty. So as long as my name's on there, I'm able to contact them directly and go through the whole process of getting it replaced if needed. That's the only thing I worry about.
Yeah, if you don't have the firing pin hammering at basically the barrel.
You can do that. Yeah, you can easily take out that firing pin. It's a matter of seconds. You could definitely, for dry fire practice. Another thing you do is get dummy rounds. I mean, they got the snap caps for them.
Yeah, and all you got to do is lift up and put it back down.
There is one thing that wasn't really talked about, but Zermatt does make a board guide. I wonder if I have one here. It's a
I hope you can tell me where this is, because I've looked for.
It's a secret. I'll send you one. You got to call them directly. They don't advertise it, which is kind of weird. And the cool thing about that board guide, I found out in his last match, it works for my center fire, my TL3 action.
Does it? Does it have the cut all the way down for the ejection?
For the extractor, yeah. Let me see.
Extractor.
Yeah. Where's the cut on?
Yeah, Matt P was over here cleaning his rifle. We were talking about carbon rings and.
Yeah, so that bore guide is phenomenal because, dude, you can literally just get your cleaning rod and just punch the bore without even hesitation. It is 100% lined up. Let me go grab it out of my cleaning rod kit.
Does it lock in with basically the bolt release, like the Vudoo?
There's an O-ring, so it looks like a big long tube. It's slitted in the side. It's got a cone in the front, O-ring in the back, so you just slide it all the way forward till it hits the breech face of the barrel.
So it's an O-ring holding it in there then.
Yeah, it's an O-ring.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not like the Vortec one.
No, the Vortec one's a lot. This one's made out of Delron.
Yeah, so is the Vortec one.
Yeah.
Or some
Would you mind like 2 minutes? I'll go grab it real quick. I want to show everybody.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'll reach out here and see some comments here. The firing pin is easy enough too on the Rimx if you want to dry fire. Big Country's in the house. Yeah, Big Country's got a couple Rimx's now. Congratulations, Big Country. I heard you and your son did well at the last match. So that's awesome. You don't tell surgeons how to do the surgery. Let the professional do the thing. Yes, just so you guys know. So Kenny's been building a lot of rifles. People have been they've been sending them stuff that they had purchased. But yeah, like he had said, with warranties and all that stuff. And a lot of times the people aren't ordering the right parts. So it makes it a big pain in the ass. He's got to send it back, try to get the right part. If you're interested in build some, just let them do it. Tell them what you're interested in and let the pros do what they do. HRM Weapons Machinist. All barrels are not accurate. You have to get one that has been hand selected from the line to be finalized by the master barrel maker. That is the case with some of the manufacturers. They actually have hand select where they, there's the big selection, and then they inspect and find their little magic ones and put them up on the top shelf Kind of like a good whiskey. You put it on the top shelf. Let's
So-
see. Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
So I got an action. Is that okay to show here or no?
Who knows with YouTube anymore, but let's try. Let's get crazy.
All right. So
Maybe
Let's
not
do
show
the-
the bolt, though, if you can.
yeah, I'll show you the picture of the bullet. So I can explain why it is not a good idea to single feed.
Put it up super close to the camera so that the algorithms won't.
We'll figure it out. So here's the bore guide.
Oh,
So-
yeah, we're going to hell for this one. YouTube's going, ah!
So this is the bore guide. It's basically a Delon piece of plastic. Honestly, I could 3D print this, but dude, it's pretty cheap. You just call them
That's
and
cool.
get one of these.
All right, hide that thing.
All right. Here I got an action.
Their little computer algorithms will, if they think it's something, they're going to freak out.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Here.
Stop being scared and compliant, Abigail says.
Yeah, stupid. So here's the action. All right. So it just goes in there like this. Well, there's a slot. I don't know if you guys can see that little extractor.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I see it.
You
Yeah.
not want to do this? It's just an action, dude. You can't do a piece of metal.
That makes everything else not fit in there.
Yeah. So that little slot on this is what goes in there, and it slides over that little extractor. That is the controlled round extractor, or there's control round feed and a controlled extraction. So you throw it in there like that, and obviously it lines up your bore and goes down there. So very,
Hell yeah.
very
I got to get one of those, Kenny, really bad.
yeah, I'll send you one. I got like 5 of them. All right. So Rimx, the bolt itself. This is a very weird looking bolt. So one, if I get this in the focus, it's not being ADD. Okay, there we go. That right here, this right here is considered the primary extractor. That's what grabs around the rim. Let me go grab a 22.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
It's a control round feed. So here's empty case. So this is the reason why you don't want a single feed. There is nothing that's going to pretty much swing over this primary extractor. It is basically stationary. All it is an Allen screw that is detented. So you just back that out, and this whole thing will slide right off. I actually did a video on this, how to change this out. And then the tensioner is this little chingazo right here. Let's get this into focus. The tensioner has a spring on the side and a a dowel pin, right? So all that does is it helps aid again in extraction as well. So 22s will come up from the magazine. It basically rides up, goes up, and it slides right up into the bolt face just like that. So everything's held in place. This thing could literally get fired just like this. So everything is stationary. That's the difference between this and
That's what feeds it, though, so nicely and smooth.
Right, yeah, control round feed. And it's just known that control round feed is just a better reliable system anyway.
The Matrix is watching.
Yeah. So
John Kreiderman says send 2. He doesn't even have one yet.
yeah, so this one, this is an action. If you see how it's discolored, that is the older style.
One, yeah.
Yeah, so the new ones are all lightly colored, and that discoloration is because it's heat treated. So if you see one of these on your Rimx's, give Zermatt a call and see if you get an updated kit. They'll give you a whole new tensioner and primary extractor.
Yeah, the new actions are coming with the new style extractor. But if
Yeah.
you have the old one, you can put the new one on.
Yeah, they told me that they're basically freaking you. Sorry, they're telling me that they're basically just working case by case.
Yeah, if you have an old one, you need to call in and say, I'm having issues with this.
Right.
Because you probably are, actually.
Yeah, it's the biggest cue to if you're having something wrong with your extraction is it's not kicking out forward like 1 o'clock or far. I mean, these things should be flinging live rounds like 5 to 10 feet away. If it's not doing that, then you have the older tensioner.
Look at Abigail. She had a couple saucy sauces of drinks tonight. There are about 10,000 alphabet boys and millions of us. Stop being a little biatch.
Yeah.
I love Abigail.
Yes. So that's essentially so the difference on the Vudoo is that your bolt face is way back here on the bolt. Your locking lugs way back here. The Rimx is up here.
Yeah.
And then the this thing's very easy to service too. Like, you want to take your firing pin out, you literally just counterclockwise, and that's your whole firing pin assembly right there.
Now, can you take the firing pin out? Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's this. There's a C clip. You see a little C clip right there.
Oh yeah.
You just pop that out, and this whole little.
Then you can dry fire all you want.
Dry fire all you want.
That's right. That's the reason why I wanted you to show that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the option to pay with food stamps.
There you go. So change out bolt heads too. Same thing. It's very easy. You want to change out, like, this is what I'm thinking you should do. Like, if you're in a match, right, and you somehow have an issue with the extractor, go down and you sheared it off, just get yourself a replaceable bolt head. I mean, this is how easy it is to get another bolt head, put it right back in there, and you're back in the game. It's gonna line up. Oh, there you
go. Damn, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Exactly. Put your firing pin back in, push down, turn, you're ready to rock.
I haven't messed with mine yet.
Yeah. And so now that you have a Vudoo and a Rimx, like, what do you think as far as the smoothness? Which one is smoother?
Hold on.
So Zermatt, they use it's not DLC coating, you use nitride, and honestly, in my opinion, they could go with a better nitride coater, because I don't think they do a good job on the way they nitride their bolts.
My Vudoo's smoother.
Yeah,
but the Vudoo's got a shit ton of rounds through it, where this only has like 750 rounds through it.
Yeah. So it's gonna wear in a little bit. I was just curious, because the Vudoo that I had that was sent here for lot testing, it was definitely a lot smoother.
Yeah, no, I like I've said a bazillion times, that 360, I love the action, the 60-degree throw deal. I just, that box that has like things in it that you put into the other thing so that it can feed things.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. The magazine, right? Fix the mag.
I was trying to on last night's chat, I was just blasting it up like, fix the mags.
Yeah. These mags are in a whole different level, man. They're just adjustable mag catch. It just built way better.
So much better. Much better. Just freaking fix the magazines.
Right. So, Rick, I might lose you. I'm actually on like 1% right now, so on battery.
No problem. We're actually going to be out of here in 7 minutes, so if you have to dive out of here, no worries. Someday Rick will finish the studio. I will finish the studio one day when I can get over my whole flooded floor. This thing was looking so nice down here, and then I got a flood and I had to rip all the damn flooring out, and I'm still upset about it. Not really upset about it, but
yeah, I came home. I got a crap ton of emails to answer. I got a lot of emails.
No, get going if you got to get going. I'm gonna be on here for another 5 minutes and be the hell out.
All right. Well, yeah. If anybody has questions with anything, am I going to get into Bergaras and CZs? I really do want to. I'm just trying to figure out a way how to make those relief cuts. So that's coming up shortly. But if anything else, you can hit me up at dpgunworks.com. It's abbreviation for Desert Precision. So DeltaPapaGunworks.com. And there's a contact button. Go there and shoot me a message, and let's see what I can do to help you out.
Wombat says, I know I have Tree Feller up here, but Wombat says that a guy in his squad Sunday actually rebuilt his Rimx bolt during the match between stages. It took him about 5 minutes. Yep.
Yeah. You could literally snap in a new tensioner and a extractor in about for me, it took about a minute. It's really fast.
And then Tree Feller, I don't know. He's talking about Rimx, I guess. Remember, you were talking about a magazine design from 5 years ago or longer compared to the new Rimx, which is only about 2 years old.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Fix the magazine.
Well, that's the thing. So Vudoo is not sitting on their feet and is twirling the thumbs. I know they're doing something. I mean, it's a common issue. We're hearing this day in, day out with a lot of shooters. So it's not.
Did you lock up? Oh, shoot. All right, Kenny's battery has died. He has left the building, folks. I like that. Somebody get a picture of that all sideways. You know what? I'm going to do this just to even pick on him more. There's Kenny. He needs a V8. Some of you guys will understand that joke. All right. Let's see here. He's gone. He gone. Design Hunter says he gone. My Bergara is sweet also. Heck yeah, those are nice. Ford Ranger. Vudoo and Rimx fanboys doing the Bergara mag swap. That's right. Same here. My Bergara is awesome, Cloud Kicker says. Yeah, I might be talking bad about this one if it don't work out. But right now it's running like a freaking sewing machine. It's working great. Someday Rick will finish that studio. I think I caught up to everybody's comments so far. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's chat. Hopefully you understand that it's not about bashing a company. It really isn't. It's just about finding something that works so that you can actually go shoot a match and not have to worry about monkey dicking around with their rifle while the time is ticking away. What about the Bergara BMR? That is going to be a better topic at a different chat. Look up Primal Rights video on the Rimx. You can remove firing pin without removing the C clip. Oh, good to know, Big Country. Good to know. Fun info tonight, Drew Bradley says. Awesome. Bash the government instead, Abigail. And what else we got out there before we end? And don't forget, Ford effing Ranger. Tree Feller's got a new truck. Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, he said it on here, but DP Gunworks, Desert Precision Gunworks in Arizona. Thanks, Conservative Sniper Hunter, putting that in there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's chat. Hopefully you guys weren't lazy and hit the thumbs up button. That always is nice. And we will see you guys on the next video, live chat, whatever it ends up being. And you guys stay safe. And welcome to Tuesday coming up tomorrow. The dreaded Tuesday. And those of you in Australia are already on Tuesday. So you guys have a great night. And again, stay safe. See you on the next video. And appreciate everybody showing up to the madness. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully maybe you learned something. Maybe you got frustrated. Maybe you're thinking about ordering something now. Who knows? You guys are awesome. And don't forget to support Sweet Tea. So if you guys are interested, go out to your stores, buy yourself some Sweet Tea, have it on the shelf and ready to go. Because during a crisis, there's nothing better than nectar of the gods juice to get you through the old apocalypse. See you guys.